You know those days where you just can't catch a break, man? That's been Jordan Poole for, well, the last 82 games. You know what I'm saying? From scoreless nights, turnovers so bad they make you cringe. The pool party has dried up in DC.
This might be the biggest fall off I've ever seen in the NBA. Things have been rough. He's been in a slump so deep, I don't even know if we can call it a slump anymore. It came quicker than we thought, but Jordan Poole's career is at a crossroad. There's two ways we can gauge how good or bad a player is on the court. The objective way, by the numbers, or the subjective way, by the eye test.
Sometimes a player can do really, really well in one test, but not so well in the other, man. You know, sometimes it's vice versa. Take Alex Caruso, for example. You know, he passes the eye test, the dunks, the flash, the defense, the flair, you know what I mean? But you look at the stat line, it just doesn't match up to the talent.
And on the other end of the spectrum is a guy like Jalen Green. Almost 20 points a night since he entered the league, a surprisingly low turnover rate, a ceiling you can dream on. His counting stats are all there, but when you watch him play, you notice the inconsistency in his game. 26 one night, 4 the next. He's been so up and down, there's rumblings of his head coach even moving him to the bench.
Facts, man. And now to Jordan Poole. The reason he's at this crossroad is because he's failing both tests. Not only is it the stats, you look at the turnovers, the carries, look at the numbers of the top 100 scorers in the NBA this season. There's only one shooting less than 40% from the field. And to make matters worse, he's shooting a terrible 30% from three. In today's league, that cannot fly, especially from your number one option.
To put that in perspective, Jordan Poole is practically shooting threes at a Giannis Antetokounmpo clip. Someone defenses beg to take open jumpers. But here's the real kicker with Poole. It's not like he's containing this bricklaying to limited minutes off the bench. He's doing it as a volume shooter. It's part of what made him a champion with Golden State. The fearlessness to stand next to Steph and say, nah, hold on, bro, I could do better.
Facts, man. But now that same trait is working against him as the primary option for the Wizards. He's taking 14 shots per game and has only scored once over 30 points this season. I mean, that came a couple nights ago, right? 15 points is what we'd expect for a fourth option. Not a first, not a second. And I mean, right now with the bag that they're giving him, he's got to be the first. How did we get here?
You got me wondering the same thing. Remember when Jordan Poole was supposed to be the league's next breakout star? When NBA players had things to say about him like this?
What kind of player you think he's going to turn out to be now for the Washington Wizards?
Oh, he definitely got all-star potential. You saw it when he made that finals run. Average 18, shooting 50, 40, 90. Like, that's hard to do.
Impressive.
We knew Washington would lose a lot of games, but nobody saw Jordan Poole struggling this much. Next, let's talk about the eye test. Here's Jordan Poole with the ball in his hand in the fourth. Wizards trailing 30 seconds on the clock. Do or die time. But what does Jordan do to meet the moment?
Jordan Poole, oh my gosh, that's a carry. Yep, and a walk. Oh my gosh. He didn't switch hands. It wasn't a crossover. It was a carry.
You know, I'm not a big one for a carry call, but look at this one.
That was blatant.
That was bad. And it might seem like we're picking on him, but he's making it super easy out here. And out of fairness, we could have buried the man on the other end of the court, but we won't even talk about defense, man, since that's not what the Wizards are here paying for. You know, a few years ago, you talk about a guy like Jordan Poole, he was that dude, the third Splash Brother.
He went from next in line to the punchline of the league. Some blame it on the Draymond practice incident. Others claim he was never that good to begin with. Regardless of how he got here, Jordan Poole is now at a crossroads, with the fate of his career hanging in the balance.
On one hand, he could reclaim the narrative, rediscover the magic that made him the third Splash Brother in Golden State. I mean, imagine a scenario where Jordan Poole tightens up, learns from his mistakes, and becomes a 25-a-night guy.
All-star appearances, clutch performances, playing games. That'd all be waiting for him if he bounced back. On the other hand, there's the risk of becoming a cautionary tale, fading into the background with a legacy overshadowed by unfulfilled potential.
In Golden State, things were made easy. He was surrounded by legends like Steph and Clay. I mean, the coach was a legend himself. He was mentored, taken care of, and that attention wasn't on him because of who he was playing with.
But in Washington, things are, let's just say, different. They've been the worst organization in the league for a decade now, and when there's no championship aspirations, motivation can be hard to come by.
No excuses, man. Washington paid the money. You know, they put in the effort for him. Poole's got to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't, what's next? When the Wizards don't see you as part of their future plans, where is there left to go?
Detroit basketball!
So what lies for Jordan Poole on the other side of a rough year one in Washington? Is it the fulfillment of his potential? Poole becoming what his peers saw in him when he was that budding star in Golden State?
Or a much less fulfilling prophecy of a guy who won early, got the bag, and left nothing but disappointment for the rest of his career? You already know we got to shout out the good people over at evanalexandergrooming.com. That's right, the greatest place for men's hair care, skin care, beard care. Plug in promo code hoop_plug_ for a smooth 20% off your order. Without further ado, put some flavor in your ear.